Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I'm your host Sandman. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Apex loaded lockpick set from Covert Instruments. Let's get into it. So I've been on a bit of a hiatus due to health issues. This is actually going to be my very last product review ever. And I think that is a beautiful, good thing because this is a really great lockpick set. What a wonderful way to end my little YouTube career on a high note, at the apex, someone might say. And so, I think this was a really wonderful lockpick set. Why not make this my last review? I don't think any products are going to come out anytime soon to beat this. I do think it's going to be the best set of tools available on the market. And we're going to talk about all the reasons why that is. Let's just go ahead and get into it. So this is the Apex loaded pick set. This sucker is going to retail for $200. Now this is the complete set with the 20 lock picks and all the tensioners and the case. Obviously, if that is out of your budget, you can buy the set of tools individually. So you can buy a set of 5 tools and the case. I'm not doing a review on the individual things because that's all gonna be based off of your needs. But if you just buy I think it's like the everyday carry set, then it's like $90. But I hesitate on saying that because Covert Instruments is really good on not only putting on really great sales throughout the year, about 4 really awesome sales, but their prices come down over time as they release new products. So as this video starts to age, those prices are going to vary, but we're looking at the whole kit and caboodle here for $200. Proudly manufactured in the United States, our Apex line are the finest injection molded picks in the world. Let's stop there, folks. Made in the USA. These tools even say made in the USA. So for people that are sticklers for, it's got to be made in America, gosh darn it, otherwise I'm not going to buy it. Well, we all know that 90% of your possessions are actually made overseas. We just love to think that there is something to things being made in America. And you know what? I think Covert Instruments did hit that right on the head there. They do make some of the best tools that money can buy, and they're doing it here, homegrown in America. How on earth they're doing that, I don't know, but they figured it out. And I'm really glad that they are. There's been other manufacturers like Jimy Longs and that have been making really amazing tools here in America. And I hope that will set the standard for other manufacturers like Southern Specialties and Southord and other North American manufacturers like Sparrows. I wish those guys would kind of up their game and provide better tool steels and better quality products overall, because if Covert Instruments can do it, then you guys can do it too. So that's super awesome that they're made in America. Let's see here. Designed for maximum comfort and peerless feedback. This kit is designed to grow with you as you progress in proficiency without any waste or filler picks. That's right. So there's no waste or filler. For $200, you're getting the kit and caboodle. But if you want that everyday carry set, you can just buy the set that you need. So this is how it came in individual packages. Maybe that might change over time, but you basically select what you want. Do you want the 25 thou or do you want the 20 thou? If you're going with the 20 thou, do you want the tools that are going to be more likely found in a McNally pick set, like a McTickler, this guy right here? Or do you want some more traditional profiles like a reach pick, like a Christina Palmer reach? And we have not a thin, but I guess you would say, oh, that's actually more of a McNally deep cut here. And we have a DeForest half diamond, but then I have my absolute favorite Jim Hook here. We'll talk more about the profiles here in a little bit, but you can buy the set that you want. And eventually, now that we have the chop shop, the custom shop from Covert Instruments, you are going to be able to access these individually. I guarantee it. Sometime in the near future, they'll even make it to where you could make your very own custom set. I promise it's going to be a thing. Just give it time, guys. Some of you guys are like, I can't wait. Guys, I've been doing this for 17 years. Patience is definitely the #1 virtue in locksport. Okay, here we go. Not content to simply make the best picks in the world, we have completely rethought how picks could be transported, carried, and stored. This thinking led to the creation of the rugged and elegant Synapse case. It's really an awesome case, man. When this thing is closed, you could literally throw this thing on the ground and you're not going to lose any tools, and it's going to hold its durability. To open it is unusual. You don't want to just pull apart. You want to push to the side here, and then you are able to actually open it. As well as if you're going to close it, you don't want to just try to crunch it closed. Just kind of move it in like that, and that's it. And that's it. And this thing really does, it really does retain very well here. And of course we have this guy back here. This guy rotates. This is going to be for other modular opportunities. So that way they can, you can have like a competition pick set that has a little kickstand here, or maybe they might be able to provide a magnet that you can put on a door frame for you locksmiths out there. Or perhaps you want to put this against your molly attachments on your plate carrier. So you want this on your chest. Maybe you're a SWAT member or you're in the military. Guys, it's absolutely endless, the possibilities here. The modularity is really what you're spending the money on. You're not just buying a leather case or a pleather case or a nylon, yeah, that's a new word, a nylon case. You're buying the modularity of this plastic case here that's going to eventually be future proof, because there's just going to be so many more options that they can add to it. So tool retrieval is fun and easy with the slightly addictive push button magnetic retention system. Let's talk about that for a second. So as I slide this over to the left, open it up, select the tool that I want, boom. How cool is that? Isn't that cool? It's, whoa, one-handed operation here. And then you can just throw your picks in there because it's magnetic and they'll sit just fine. There are people who do not pick locks who are going to comment in this video and they'll say, but Sandman, what about the magnets? Don't I want to not magnetize my lock picks because it's going to affect my pins? First off, like 90% of pins in pin tumbler locks are brass. Ergo, a magnetized pick will not affect a brass pin. Secondly, the steel pins that are in high security locks, the magnetism that would possibly transfer over into a lockpick is so negligible because we are creating binding resistance by adding rotational force to a plug to feel for a binding pin. The magnetic properties that could transfer into a lockpick and possibly move a steel pin is never going to be felt in 100 million gazillion billion years by a lockpicker who's applying rotational force to create a binding order. Please stop putting in the comments, but Sandman, they're getting magnetized. The world's greatest lockpicker, the most accomplished lockpicker on YouTube is Georgia Jim and Lockpicking Lawyer, both of which use Covert Instruments tools and both of which are slaying black belt level locks on a regular basis with these tools. They are not going to be magnetized. End of discussion. I'm sorry it had to be said, folks. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but it had to be said. Also, it's fun to be able to play with the tensioners right here. How cool is that? And when they fall out, you just drop it back in, and they magically spread apart perfectly together. I love it. Now, let's talk about these flat tensioners here. If you push on the 25 thousandths, it's not going to pop up. So you just pull that one up, no problem. But the thicker ones here pop up. I love it. And then this guy here, they made space for that to pop up. And then when you're ready to put it back, I like to put it back with the tensioning, the teeth first, and then work its way in. I absolutely love this case. I have gone on bridge raids and I have lost tools. I have lost tools just being a locksmith and working for Papa Lock and working as a shop locksmith in Colorado. Like I've lost tools just walking around doing my job, not from breaking tools or anything like that. I lose tools just because things fall out. They're not gonna fall out of this guy. This thing is bomb-proof. I could probably run over it with my Toyota truck, and it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fine. So I just had to get that out of the way. Sandman's angry. He's angry. Why are you taking it out on us, trolls? I don't know, because you guys leave dumb comments sometimes. I've got to get that off my chest. Please just listen to the pros. The pros use tools that are sometimes around magnets. Magnets don't affect any of the tools whatsoever. I'm sorry. It's a dead topic. Designed to protect your tools during the harshest of duty environments while still be able to be carried and placed in plain sight without arousing suspicion. That's right. Nobody knows what this is. It looks like a cell phone. You can put it in your back pocket. Looks like a cell phone. Nobody knows that this is the world's greatest lockpick set. It's a good point. The trays, picks, and sockets will all become part of a comprehensive ecosystem allowing unprecedented optioning and carry methods. Trays not carried stack for easy Hey guys, I just copy these as I see them on the website. Trays not carried, stack for easy storage until you need them. Trays not carried, comma, stack for easy storage. So I should be able to, in theory, stack these. So let's give it a try. I don't know. I had trouble stacking them when the product first was given to me, but it was like a prototype. So let's see if these stack. Hey, they stack. That's great. Look at that. That's fantastic. Fantastic. For some reason, I couldn't do it with some of the prototypes, but I guess they got that figured out. Wonderful. Fantastic. I love that. That is so cool. This is a fantastic set. I can't wait to add this to, I'm going to put this in this is going to be my vehicle set. If I am ever in the real world and I need an emergency lockpick set that is fully comprehensive and capable of managing all manner of pin timber locks, dependent upon my skill, ability that particular day and the environment. So is it 30 degrees out and is it raining on me and I have to take a knee to pick this lock, or am I going to be a little bit more comfortable? Then I honestly feel like I can pick any lock in the world with these tools 100%. That's why it's going into my truck 1000%. All right, so let's see here. Included in the Apex loaded kit are the following. We have 4 Evolution pick set trays for a total of 20 picks. So let's count them. Let's take a look. Let's gonna take this guy apart. Okay, here we go. So we have 5 picks, we have 10, we have 15, and we have 20. 20 thou are these, I don't know, you can call it like a army brown, army green. It's not a flat dark earth. I don't know what you would call that color, but it's like a dark green. And then we have a black color here for the 25,000. Let's go ahead and take out our calipers here. Make sure we're zeroed in here. And then let's make sure we are in inches. Okay, zeroed out. Okay, digital calipers here. These are $60 StuMac digital calipers for luthiers. Let's go ahead and check out our 20 thou, see where that comes in at. And it's about 19.5 thou, which is perfectly fine. That's great. I love that it's a little bit under 20 thou. 19.5 thou is actually exactly, what is 19.5 thou? What is that? It's been a while. Hang on. 19.5 thou is going to come in at 0.5 millimeters. So 0.5 millimeter here. Let's take a look at another one. Let's take a look at one from this set so we can get some consistency across the board. 19 thou. That's great. I'm fine with that. It's a 20 thou, marketed at 20 thou, coming in at 19 thou. We have a 2/1000th of an inch tolerance here in our steel manufacturing processes across the United States, nationwide. That came in 19.5. It's perfectly fine. Let's check one of these guys here. 19.5 thou. That's great. I don't see any discrepancies or issues here for quality control, which is fantastic. If you guys ever get into collecting lockpicks, you're going to see some pretty wild numbers across the board, especially from companies like Hudson, HPC, ESP, and even Peterson Manufacturing. Those things are going to come in very inconsistent across the board in my experience and in my collection. So we have the 25,000ths, marketed at 25 thou, coming in at 23 thou, which is normal because we're within that 2/1000th of an inch tolerance there for I don't want to call it a mistake. It's just manufacturing process. So these are all coming in at 23/1000ths of an inch, which is perfectly fine, and I prefer 23 thou. 25 thou is really thick. I'm not a fan of 25, never been a fan of 25. I prefer 23 thou, which is why we have that at 6 millimeters, 23.5 thou at 0.6 millimeters. So just shy of 0.6 millimeter are the 25,000ths here. And so let's take a look at a couple things. So we have the turning tool tray. We talked about that. It comes with modified ergonomic turning tools, which were first displayed in the Echelon pick set that was released about a year and a half ago, about a year and 3 months ago. Top of keyway flat turning tools, which has been an absolute mainstay in everybody's lockpick set, going back at least 5 or 10 years now. And top of keyway flat turners were actually first mentioned in the Lockpick Design Manual 1973, first mass-produced by a manufacturer based out of Rochester, New York, and then with some design help of design with Christina Palmer, the famous lockpick designer, we now have what we have today. We have precision 2-in-1 turners. Let's see here, which are the double-ended turners. Those are actually my favorite for picking locks in hand. We'll talk about that here in a second. We have a protective fusion straps and removable logo pucks, which are just the little devices here that fill the back of this. Now, I don't think I have the logo. Oh yeah, it is. Oh, that is a CI. Okay, I'm just a dunce. Okay, here we go. So we're done with that portion of the review. Let's take a look at these turning tools and we'll assemble ourselves a little custom set here that we can put inside my vehicle for everyday carry. So we have these double-ended top of keyway turning tools, and someone could say, well, what are those for? If you're new here, if you live on a rock, double-ended top of keyway turning tools are really great for picking pin tumbler style locks that are going to be installed in something. Either they're installed into a door, a doorknob, or they're going to be installed like here in this deadbolt, or they're actually, if you're a hobbyist lock picker and you put them inside a table vise, you'd want to use top of keyway tensioners like this guy right here, because I can use one hand to push forward, but I can also use 2 fingers here, 3 fingers here to float pick my way through the security pins that may be inside of here. But if I'm just, I can still pick through a lot of tools, or excuse me, I can still pick through a lot of security pins by just leaning, pushing my weight against the door and using my index finger here and just applying rotational force for creating a binding order within that lock. Now, you saw this fall out. That's just because I probably haven't found the right size. That's why we have 4 different sizes here. We have 28 thousand, 32 thousands, 40 thousands, and 50 thou. Right here, I have the, what I guess the 40 thou, and it should be marked. I don't see a mark. Up there it is. I have the 50 thou. Okay, it fell out. Things sometimes fall out. So how do you get around top of keyway tensioners that are falling out? And we want to use top of keyway because I want to open up the bottom of my keyway here for single pin picking. If I am going to rake the lock, however, I want to use bottom of tension because I don't want the rake to accidentally pull out this tensioner right here. So that's the benefit of using these double-ended top of keyway turning tools. It opens up the space for the bottom here. But sometimes we have security pins and this guy's going to start jumping around, which is why we want to put 2 fingers on it. But let's say we want a little bit more control. That's why we go with our double-ended turning tools right here. So these are our double-ended turning tools. I didn't open these. Hang on one second while I pry this apart. Actually, don't I have turning tools right here in front of me? Don't I have a case? Yeah, I'm right here, guys. I'm just, oh man, it's a Friday. So here we go. We have double-ended turning tools, and these are going to not jump out as much. Now, you're not going to be able to easily put the 3 fingers on this guy as you would if it was a double-ended top of keyway turning tool, but this guy sits in a little bit deeper, and I can apply the same rotational force. Why is this really needed? Why is it a benefit? Because sometimes I like to pick locks in my hand, like a padlock. If you approach a padlock, you want to use top of keyway tension with a bend. This gives us this very comfortable 90-degree ergonomic hold here, and I'm going to be able to feel all the security pins in here, no problem. However, let's talk about sometimes this likes to roll out. Sometimes I'll put this in a lock and it starts to roll forward and it wants to fall out all the time. That's because the depth between the face of this plug, okay, and the first pin may be a little short, and this may be a little bit long. And so when I put that rotational force, it starts to flap forward, which does 2 things. 1, I have trouble picking the lock, and 2, it eventually wants to wiggle its way out. So what do we do in that instance, Sandman? I will tell you. We go to our ergonomic turning tools, top of keyway here, and it's much shorter. Do you see how much shorter that is for top of keyway? Now, you would say, but isn't that the same as this? Yeah, but this is ergonomic. That's not. If I place this top of keyway pry bar style turning tool that's ergonomic, it's not going to roll forward as easily. It's going to sit deeper in this lock because the teeth that bites into that lock is shorter than on the double-ended turning tools. However, if I were to, let's say, if I were to use a straight bar for top of keyway on my padlock here, it's not as comfortable. I have to pick at this goofy angle, and it's super uncomfortable, super not as practical. That's why people are using these double-ended turning tools here, but we're still having problem with this guy flopping out. So then Lockpicking Lawyer started putting a 35-degree bend in his top of keyway turning tools around 2015, 2016 timeframe. And now we have the ergonomic turning tools that we have with Covert Instruments. Man, do I still have people watching, or did everybody just tune out and flick off the YouTube channel? I'm sorry I went on a tangent there, but sometimes we got to explain stuff because this could be your very first Sandman YouTube experience. I don't know where you guys are coming from on this, but I had to explain that. These are without a doubt the best turning tools on the market, in my opinion. I believe they're made of a 301 high yield stainless steel, but even if they're not, I really think that they are, because I have used a 400 series stainless steel from other manufacturers that kind of bend on you a little bit, and these have never failed me ever. And I've consulted for other companies, and I've always said you need to have 3 double-ended turning tools for top and bottom keyway, and you need to have the 3 minimum, if not 4, double-ended top and bottom pry bar flat style pry bars as well, you know, as a bare minimum. And Covert Instruments does that. Now, I forgot to say, if you're going to be raking, if you're going to rake a lock, you need to use this longer end here and place that at the bottom of your keyway, because your rake is going to be scrubbing the pins at the top of that keyway. So that way you can try to, that's how we're going to rake our lock. If I try to place this here at the top and I try to rake, there's a good chance I could accidentally pull out that turning tool there. So we can rake, we can single pin pick, we can use float picking, we can use 3-finger retention on a flat pry bar, or we can use ergonomic rotational force to create our binding order. The world is your oyster, my friends. All right, let's get into some of the pick profiles here. If we look at the 25,000s, we have a regular flat hook, which is going to be quite standard. I think that flat hook design was probably going to be invented by HPC sometime circa middle 1950s, and it's going to be one of the most common designs that we see in lock picking and lock sport. That flat hook there is pretty common here, that and a half diamond, but nobody uses a half diamond anymore. There's so much better profiles out there now. So we got the standard half flat hook there, excuse me, and then we have a standard rounded hook. I believe this rounded hook may have been designed by Christina Palmer with some input from Lockpicking Lawyer. And then we have I would call that a deep rounded hook. I mean, it could be a medium rounded hook, but it looks pretty deep to me. In fact, I would say that this is a medium and a deep rounded hook. That's what I would say. Someone could say, no, it's this. It doesn't matter. Does it touch the pin that you're trying to pick? That's what matters. And then we have a quad and a quint rake, which I think are a really great selection or choice of rakes here for this set. I wouldn't pick anything different. I would like to see a Bogota, because I think Bogota, the spacing between the peaks are a little bit more aggressive. So I have a little bit more confidence in a Bogota. But man, I really love that they not only went with a quad and quint designed by Christina Palmer, but they went with the higher peaks of those. When Christina Palmer designed these, she I think she may have designed like 3 to 5 different heights, you know, across so many different sinusoid, cycloid, or whatever. I don't know. Mathematicians, whatever, they're wizards. But these are the most functional ones of like the 6 that she designed for Multipick and other companies. 2/3 of the locksport or lockpick manufacturers are actually using her designs. Sparrow's one of them. 7 Specialties is another one. So this is what I think this is a very great selection of rakes for that set. And then here, let's go ahead and just work. I don't know which Evos these are. It doesn't really matter, does it? Because you guys are just going to look at it and pick the one you want. Obviously, we have the same thing here with the flat hook, medium rounded, deep rounded hook, pick, and the 2 rakes here, the quad and the quint, or the 4 and 5 peak here in 20,000ths, as well as the 25,000ths. We'll call it 19.5 and 23,000ths respectively. But then the other 2 Evos here, we have a double or a quad rake here. We have the McTickler, as popularized by McNally. And if you guys are new to locksport, the McTickler is designed for diving in. So that way you're hitting the pins with this hump back here. You're diving in to rake, and then you're zipping back to hit with this front hump. And then you should set at least 2 to 3 pins doing that method. And then you can go through and single pin pick Yeah, SPP, single pin pick, your way to victory here. You should only have to set 2 to 3 pins, just single pin picking. That's why McNally is such a fast lock picker. He has designed his own lock picking method. Some people could call it hybrid picking. That was made popular by Bosnian Bill about 10 years ago to date, but this is a very unique profile that's very specific to Covert Instruments and McNally's design and preferred technique of picking padlocks. So it is quite unique. It is definitely a hybrid style of picking, but this is a very special lockpick just for his own style. Then we have what I would say is very similar to, I think it's called a Nessie, designed by Tepini, but this is going to be a McNally take on it, where we have a rake on one end, we have a little small Bogota rake there, and we have a single rounded hook here for single pin picking. So you can go in and rake those pins, and then you can pull it back out and push it back in and go look for the pins that didn't set from raking here. And I think that's a really great addition. People love that profile. We have a rake for dimple locks, excuse me, low security nipple locks that don't have security pins. This is going to be really great for those things like Yale dimple locks. Let me think. Squire has a couple. I'm not too familiar with low security dimple locks. I primarily pick high security dimple locks, and I use single pin picking, and I use flags, and I use other tools, leashy style rotary tools like that. So I actually don't use this tool. I probably won't add this to my everyday carry, but I love that they have this in the set. We also see this, I think, in the Echelon pick set. And then we have another similar to the McTickler. I forget what this is called, but it has 2 humps instead of 1. In my product testing, this is not something that I leaned too hard, but I do love experimenting with new profiles and new tools. I really preferred the McTickler and this Nessie style lockpick, and I really prefer a Jim overall. But this is really cool that they have that for those of you that want to try new and strange things. Then we have a DeForest half diamond here, designed by Bill DeForest in the late 1970s, sold to Ritan, and they held the patent on this for a couple decades. And it's a really popular pick profile. I'm not a fan of DeForest half diamonds here, but a lot of locksmiths, a lot of old school lockpickers are that got into lockpicking around the 80s and the 90s. And then we have a McNally style medium rounded hook with a little bit of a cutout here that allows you to get a little bit deeper than what a medium rounded hook would allow you. This is a really good rounded hook. We have a rocker style lockpick that was influenced by the fall lockpick set offered by NBA USA, based out of, I think, like Lexington, Kentucky, by Mr. Fowl Industries. He helped design a lockpick set. I don't remember if it's Fowl Industries, but anyways, he made rocker picks like a thing, and then Christina Palmer came up with her own design that's a little bit more effective. Now, I don't think John Fall invented the rocker pick. I think I have a few magazines from the Locksmith Ledger that date back from the 70s that have a couple rocker style picks in there. But Christina Palmer made it so much more applicable and practical by lessening the angle of the rocker here, and maybe Covert Instruments took their own take on it as well. Maybe it's not a complete Christina Palmer design, but we have seen this in a few other pick sets. I think it's really great. She designed it because it's really great for teaching beginners how to take that pick and just rest it on the bottom of that keyway and rock it. That's what we should be doing, is we're actually levering our pick or somewhere here on the warding inside that keyway. Ideally, we don't want to really like float this thing. I don't do it that way. I don't know anybody else that floats their pick like that. We do float picking, which is referring to our tensioning hand, but we don't do float picking by actually floating the pick. At least I don't. Maybe European style lock pickers, when they're picking upside down, because that's how their locks are installed, which is another topic. I think they float their picks because they can push down, but North American lock pickers typically are in a lever up. And then we have another similar McTickler style lockpick. This is really just great for speed picking. It's basically just a flat hook with a nice cutout here. It's that way. If it was flat, you probably wouldn't be able to pick the pins very well, but it has a nice little deep cut here, and it's really great for speed picking. We do see this in the McNally pick set, Reaper pick set, and then we have my ultimate favorite of all time lockpick, and that is going to be the Jim style hook, and I just love it. I can't explain why. I've tried for years to try to use rounded hooks hooks because they're more accessible, and flat hooks because reasons, but I absolutely love using a gym style hook. It just works for me. And that's what's really the point of having all of these profiles, is to find what works for you. I'm never gonna use 90% of these tools. I'm probably gonna just use 10%. And that's why we're gonna take out some of the fat and we're gonna create our own favorite lockpick set. Let's go ahead and do that. I like having a nice thick flat hook here. And I definitely want my gym style hook in here. So let's take a gym hook and let's see here. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna keep that 23 thou because I like to use a flat hook when I'm picking low security junk padlocks like Master Locks, Brinks, Commando Lock, you know, things like that. I like to use thicker profiles because there's usually a lot of corrosion, usually a little bit of gunk in there, not rust because we're dealing with brass. Brass doesn't rust, but it does get a little bit corroded. And sometimes I have to add grease, or there's factory grease that's dried up. I don't want to bend my tools, so I use a little bit thicker, and I like to use a flat profile here, a flat hook here, because the pins are usually smaller given the smaller format in those master core cylinders. So, but anything else that requires a little bit more skill and a delicate touch, like an American lock, American padlock, or anything with security pins, I like to use my gym hook here. So far so good. Now we just need to pick 3 more. I definitely want a rake in here. And when you use a rake, you want to use the thickest rake possible because of the nature of jamming this tool in and out of that lock. You don't want to mess up and bend that tool. It can bend, it can break on you. So use the thickest one possible. You can use rakes up to 30 thousandths of an inch thick or more because the average, let's say, inner diameter of a top of keyway is actually 40 thousandths of an inch. That's because keys have to be thick enough that they don't break over time as you rotate them inside a lock. So 40 thousandths is going to be the average top of keyway there. And that was told to me by some mathematician over the phone. So I promise you that is no lie. They did some testing with the Open Organization of Lockpickers and found 40 thousandths to be the average, 30 to 40 thousandths. And so we're going to go with our thicker one here. I don't need the quint. I'm going to go with the quad. I like the higher, taller peaks here. I like the aggressiveness there, and I like that it's in 23, marketed as 25 thousandths. So we're going to add that in here, put that right there. I only need that one. And let's see here. What else do we want to add? I don't know if I'm going to use any of these. You know what? I am going to use this. I am going to add this medium rounded hook from the McNally pick set that has a deep cutaway. This is going to be really great for reaching those really shallow pins in front of a very deep low cut pin in the front. So we're going to definitely add that in there. You know what? Just for why not do that. And then let's see, we just need to add one more. What should we add? Okay, here we go. Man, there's so many good profiles here. I don't know what to go with. I don't think I need another flat hook that's thinner. I do like the McTickler. It is a good pick. These are really all I need. And I don't think I need a some people say, oh, but you need a thinner rake for highly paracentric keyways like the Yale Y1 or Y6. Now, I can still use the 20 thousandths. I might consider adding a deeper rounded hook, but I don't think I really need it. I don't think I need it because that cutaway here on this medium is going to do enough. You know what I'm actually going to do? I might leave this space blank because someday they're going to come out with 15 thousandths, and I would add a gym hook and 15 thou in there. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I would add a gym hook and 15 thou for super highly paracentric keyways where the warding overlaps each other and you have to pick off the warding. That's what I would do. Someone's going to say, but Sandman, I'm sorry guys, I'm going to wait and fill that up with a 15 thousandths gym style hook. It's probably not going to come out for 6 months to a year. That's what I would put in my ultimate perfect Apex lockpick set by Sandman. Okay, here we go. So, and then we have the turning tools and stuff. I already got a case here outfitted with that. So let's just do this. You know what? I don't know about you guys. I absolutely hate seeing a gap here. So let's either add another flat hook and no, we don't need another flat hook. Let's go ahead and add the McTickler. It's a fun thing. I like adding it. Let's practice our speed picking when we go to locksport meetups and stuff. So that's going to be my set for now, but I have a feeling I would replace the McTickler with another gym style hook, but in 15 thousandths, and that would be my go-to lockpick set. So let's go ahead and put this all together. I actually really like this modularity of this. I like the rubber on the tools. I like everything about the tools. So like this rubber gasket here that holds it together. I think it's fun. I think it's great. It's practical. It just takes some getting used to and understanding how it comes together. That's it. It's already done. It's put together. That's it. This is great. This is a really good set of tools. I love it. Yep. 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 That's it. That's it, man. I can't wait to see what else they put out in the future. Okay, we're missing some turning tools here. Hold on, let me put this in here. So this should be the 50 thou. And this case is actually numbered. We have 50, 40, and 30. Yeah, I realize we just went from a review to just me talking about random stuff, but I promise it's all related. Here we go. We're going to add the top and bottom QA turning tools, so that way we can have an ergonomic and our bottom QA turners. Sorry, I gotta put these in correctly. Seriously, I could just put these together like this, and they just go, oh, God, that's so satisfying. I love it. This is it. This is my everyday carry pick set that's gonna go in my truck. Absolutely love it. Covert Instruments, thank you so much for sending me this lockpick set for review. I don't get anything financially in return for doing this. They send me the product for review, I review the product, and then I get to keep the product. Sometimes people send me product that I don't want to review, so I don't review it, or I will give it a bad review. If you've been around for the last 2 years, I've given plenty of bad reviews. I do get some financial kickback for the commercials you guys watch on my YouTube videos, but if I didn't have my YouTube channel monetized, you guys would still be forced to watch commercials. That's why I monetized the YouTube channel, because I was like, man, people are complaining about commercials and it's not even monetized. Might as well monetize it. So let's go ahead and get into the fact that this is, well, actually, no. We have a couple more things to say about this pick set, a couple more good things to say about this pick set. So let's talk about the pick steel real quick. There are 5 pick steels we're going to see on the market today. Starting with titanium is actually the weakest tool steel here. It's going to be about half the strength of this tool set right here. And that titanium grade 5 is only really good for its non-corrosive properties and non-magnetic properties. Unless you're a Navy SEAL, you don't need titanium grade 5. We have 301 full hard stainless steel, which is going to be, it used to be an industry standard here throughout the US for the last 20 or 30 years. And it's just not that great. It's not much stronger than our titanium grade 5. If anybody's selling 301 full hard stainless steel, it's because they're lazy. They're not lock pickers. They're probably just manufacturers that took on a tool and die company and they don't want to upgrade their tool and die to a laser cut machine to be able to provide better tool steel. So 301 full hard is not going to be something we desire. 1095 high carbon is actually pretty freaking strong. And it's typically the lock picks that look like they're black. They're the block picks you see on Amazon or on eBay or on Etsy, whatever. They're the cheap, no-name brand lock picks. They're actually really strong, but the quality control on them sucks. They almost all come from China. And the quality control and the consistency and the thickness of those picks are anywhere between like 19.5 thou or even 18 thousandths of an inch all the way to 29 thousandths of an inch. I've done reviews on tool sets from HPC ESP owned by Hudson Lock, and let me tell you, their quality control has absolutely gone downhill. The 1095 is all over the place. People try to say in the comments, but Sandman, maybe it's like that by design. No, they're just garbage. So stay away from 1095. They used to make good quality tools about 15, 20 years ago out of 1095, but the quality control is just all over the place now. You're better off finding something in a 400 series stainless steel, or even better yet, a 301 high yield stainless steel. Now, 400 series and 301 high yield are going to produce about the same pounds per square inch. So 250,000 pounds per square inch of ultimate tensile strength versus 280. Those numbers are going to be best estimates, and it's all dependent upon the steelmaking process, but it is going to be twice as strong as our 301 full hard and our titanium grade 5. So these tools right here are actually made of 301 high yield stainless steel, which is the strongest tool steel available currently on the market. This set retails for $200, so it is in our Big Tim range, and you are going to need to have a career to be able to purchase this guy. And but if you can't purchase it, they do offer the $90 Evos, you know, by themselves. It's not by themselves, it's just the one, it's this guy. It's essentially this. You buy one set of picks with the set of tensioners for 90 bucks. At some point, you'll be able to buy the Evos by themselves, and then you'll be able to buy the lockpicks by themselves. So for those of you that are screaming, complaining, the Sandman, it's too expensive, just give it time. They'll be on sale. They'll offer the tools individually. Competition's going to drive prices down, and Covert Instruments has been putting out wonderful quality product for the last 2 years, and prices have gone down over year. So just give it some time. That being said, this is a tier 1 lockpick set, best of the best, high quality, high functionality, and transparency, and I stand by this review. Folks, this is my absolute last locksport review. This is my last locksport video. I like to think that I might entertain the idea of maybe doing a live stream like at night or something like that, but not interacting with people, but just to show the process of me picking for meditation, picking for relaxation, and just picking locks overall. I may do that. I haven't decided. I'm still dealing with some health issues, physical health issues. I'm still dizzy every single day. I've been dizzy for like, I don't know, 7 months now, 8 months. And I'm still trying to wait for all of my insurance and Medicare to kick in so I can finally see doctors that are legit. I've been dealing with the VA for 6 months, and they just hit a dead end. They're like, well, we can't tell you, we can't figure out what it is. So due to those health issues, I've decided to pursue other hobbies. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. I'm doing Tai Chi, I'm meditating, I'm exercising, I went to a meditation retreat, I'm learning Buddhism, I'm becoming stronger spiritually, and I'm just trying to see where I want to take all that at the age of 40. I'm medically retired from the Marine Corps for post-traumatic stress disorder, and I really love lock sport. I really love lock picking, but I'm learning other techniques, I'm learning other coping mechanisms, I'm learning other skills to put in my tool bag to help me, and I really want to put more effort and energy into those and not in my YouTube videos. Folks, if I could tell you one thing, is this: I started this YouTube channel because I had at the time 15 years of experience, and I saw people putting out some really weird opinions on tools, and unbeknownst to people that in the lock sport industry, or not industry, unbeknownst to people in the locksport community, those people that were making reviews were actually being subsidized more than just receiving a set of tools. They were actually, you know, some type of way financially involved with the manufacturers that they were doing reviews of those tools. And I was like, man, people don't even realize that these guys are involved with the manufacturer. This isn't an honest review. So I started out wanting to do that myself. I wanted to give reviews and give you my full educated opinion. I did my absolute best to do that over these past 2 years. And I wanted you guys to maybe save some money. That I didn't buy things so that you could save money, because I don't know you personally, but I didn't want you guys to buy something and just absolutely hate it, because I've done that with manufacturers. And so I set out to purchase every single lockpick set available on the market, and I purchased like 95% of all sets. I have over 200 sets in my collection. I have over 60 unique lockpick sets spanning across 30 different manufacturers. Actually 40 different manufacturers, because there's been several manufacturers that have been discontinued. That being said, I think this is a really great lockpick set. I think this is going to go down as one of the most popular lockpick sets in North America, at least. I think it is going to set a tone for quality and design and practicality and functionality and modularity. I think this is really going to do great. People will probably say, oh, he's on the take, he's being paid by Covert Instruments. Guys, they sent me the product for free to review. If I wanted to, I could just purchased it with a credit card, like I did with all the other product reviews that I did, and just would have told you straight. This is a really great product. I think this is going to be the best lockpick set available on the market. There's going to be a lot of other lockpick makers that are going to compete with these tools, but at the end of the day, they're not going to compete very well against this case. They're not going to compete against these turning tools. I think this is a really great set of tools. I'm still a big fan of those other manufacturers that do compete against this. I still will collect some lockpicks, but man, I have thousands of lockpicks. I honestly do. I have everything. I have all the Multipick, all the Jimy Longs, all the Moki, all the lock tools. I have everything. And at the end of the day, you can only pick a lock using one lockpick at a time. And if I had to get rid of everything, if I went completely minimalist tomorrow, I would absolutely keep my Covert Instruments Apex tools. I would keep my Jimy Longs, I'd keep my Moki, and I'd keep my Multipick. Everything else I could probably just throw in the trash. I wouldn't even care. That being said, guys, I really do think, really do, and I know I've said this several times already, I really do think this is going to be a big hit in the community. Yes, it's very expensive, but it's going to be modular price-wise as well. And over time, you're going to be able to buy these tools individually, and they're going to come out with more stuff in the future. Different colors, different sizes. You know, I'd love to see a red and green themed Christmas set. I'd love to see an orange themed Halloween set, a pink set for you know, breast cancer awareness, a yellow set for suicide awareness or Easter. Like, I think fun things can be done with these injection molded handles that Covert Instruments is going to tap into. The quality is here, the craftsmanship, the ideas are here. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Back to me and not doing reviews anymore. I have it all. This is the apex of my little short career, this 2-year YouTube career. It's the apex for me. What else am I going to review? I have all of the best tools. I've reviewed all of the best tools. I have companies like Multipick, who is one of the best manufacturers in the whole world with tools with my name on them from consultations in the past. I'm absolutely fortunate to have been a part of this community. I'm actually fortunate to have achieved my red belt and having picked 1 black belt level lock, but I never got my black belt. Who knows? Maybe I still might be able to get that in the future. I'm very fortunate all the people that I met in this community, and having flown out to manufacturing facilities and met some of my heroes that I've watched on YouTube for over a decade. I'm fortunate for all those things, and I'm fortunate for all of you for being a part of my community here. One thing I would love to recommend to all of you, that if you're a bit of an introvert like me and you struggle being a part of a community, just create your own community, create your own YouTube channel, and people that are like-minded will come to you and want to be a part of what you have going. You don't have to go join some forum online, though I do recommend joining Discord, link in the description down below. But I've been a part of locksport for 17 years, and forums come and go, communities come and go, people burn each other. You know, it's just the people come and go. The main thing is that you pick locks because you love it, because you enjoy it, and if you love it so much you want to share with others, then create your own community online through social media and bring people to you. You don't have to go to them. You don't have to beg for a seat at the table when you can build your own table. I really enjoyed this whole this journey and this road with you guys. I just want to focus on other things that are working for me right now, mentally and physically, and locksport will always be here. It'll always be a tool in my toolbox, and this set of tools is going right into my truck. It's going into my everyday carry. Thank you again, Covert Instruments, for your kindness, for everything you've done for me. Thank you for everybody that's watching. That's it. That's all I have for today. Folks, I'm not rich, I'm irresponsible, and I'm just a businessman blessed with many friends. That's all I have for today. Let me know in the comments down below. What are your thoughts about this pick set? Are you going to jump on board and buy the whole loaded kit and caboodle, or are you just going to buy the $90 everyday carry set? Or are you going to wait till things become individually available? Folks, I love you all. That's all I have for today. Thank you all so much, and good night.